Good morning. I am not Jordan Spina. Most of you know that. Some of you are visiting here today, and we're expecting a message out of the parables of Jesus because you've looked at the website or the Facebook page for Rock of Ages. Not getting that today, sorry. I'm Pastor Marty Valder. I'm from Hope in Everett, Washington. This is part of this pulpit exchange. Jordan was at Hope 2 weeks ago as I was in Sammamish, and now Jordan's in Sammamish and I'm here at Rock, and Bill Helen from Ferndale's at my church. It's nice to be here at Rock of Ages. Those of you who don't know me, you probably you'll know me now. And Rock of Ages is kind of a home church for me, considering the Pacific Northwest. I was born in Wisconsin, grew up in North Dakota, but I had relatives that attended here Rock of Ages. My first memory of Rock of Ages was 1962. I was a small boy sitting back up there in the balcony. O.E. Overland was the pastor here, and I had, like I said, relatives that attended here. I got a spanking that day because I'm not a quiet kind of guy, and I wasn't a quiet kind of kid. And I hope, hopefully you won't have to spank me after the service today. At any rate, I also have had the blessing to being here in the Pacific Northwest for a number of years, be involved with many things that Rock of Ages is involved in, whether it's Bible camp or Mexico Mission. But even more fun than that, I mean, those are fun things, was the connection I developed through Hillcrest Lutheran Academy, and a lot of you are familiar with that. And I mean, I'm just right here with family today because my roommate from Hillcrest family also part of the Ed and Clara also plan. And you guys are all here for a Sather reunion on Tuesday, is that correct? Monday? Oh, that's tomorrow already. Oh, tomorrow already. At any rate, and so in 1976, I spent a week at Ed and Clara's house here as our Hillcrest Lutheran Academy choir was touring Pacific Northwest churches, and it's just really a blessing to be here and share with you today. Of course, my son, too, there's another connection. My son married a daughter from this congregation. Yeah, Joanne, I know, I'm getting there. I know. And that's why my wife's not here with me today, because she's got the three amigos. Well, you know, Jeff and Kelsey. Kelsey used to be a Kuhn. She formerly, you know, part of that Walbotney, Ramsden, Kuhn plan. And if my grandkids were here today, they might get a spanking. Yeah, because they're a noisy bunch. They are a noisy bunch. But that's why my wife isn't here with us today. She's got the kids. Because Jeff and Kelsey went to a wedding in Blaine last night. Irene's grandson got married last night. Right. So, yeah. See, they say everybody in the Lutheran Brethren's related, and they're not lying. We're, if not by blood, certainly by Jesus Christ. Anyway, today I'm going to share with you a message from Isaiah. Just as Jordan picked the parables of Jesus for a summer series, I've been spending the summer in the Old Testament. Old Testament, you know, it precedes the New Testament. And the Old Testament is reflected in the New Testament, and the New Testament has its foundation in the Old Testament. And we're looking at a text today from Isaiah. Isaiah, you know, was an amazing prophet of God ministering to the people of the southern kingdom of Judah. The funny thing about Isaiah, he didn't know this when he wrote down the words that God gave him, but later as the Bible was printed and published, somebody thought it would be a good idea to put it into chapters and verses. They didn't write it like that when God originally gave them the words to put down. But Isaiah's got 66 chapters, just like the Bible has 66 books. And the first 39 chapters, just like the Old Testament, the first 39 chapters of Isaiah deal with a lot of woe, a lot of judgment, a lot of impending doom upon the people of Israel. And of course, Isaiah is famous for his prophetic words about Jesus, first as a great king and as a servant. But the last 27 chapters of Isaiah are just filled with gospel. Of course, we love that Isaiah can bring both the law and the gospel in such an effective way. And as he's writing to a people that have relished just the glory of the kingdom that David established. The kingdom has, shall we say, seen better days, seen much better days. It's been split into two: the northern kingdom of Israel, the southern kingdom of Judah. The Assyrians have already conquered the northern kingdom, taken them captive into their own, shall we say, destiny of God's judgment upon them for their lack of interest in the things that God had made known to them. And Isaiah is sharing a word to the southern kingdom of Judah that should resonate with them, because they've seen their cousins and aunts and uncles and families from the northern kingdom just fall to this great power of Assyria. And the Assyrians had indeed been knocking on the door. They'd come to Jerusalem and laid siege, but God relented. The people of Judah, see, and we're on our way back. Gonna make Judah great again. So, that was intentional, but only because greatness doesn't come from within. Greatness comes from God. And the people of Judah, they're thinking things are going to get better, going back to those good old days. And they're not so interested in the servants of God, specifically, in this case, Isaiah. They're not interested in pursuing God's will. What they don't know at this point is the good days are not coming back. It's going to get worse. Much worse, because there's these Babylonian dudes. They're a little farther to the east than the Assyrians. But God is raising up in Babylon. It's biblical. God is raising up Babylon to be his instrument of judgment upon these people who are so disinterested in God's way, in God's love, in God's salvation. So we're going to look at a passage today that's an incredible invitation from God. Isaiah 55, verses 1 through 7. We've got it right there on the screen. You can follow along. Now, in fact, I will read it from there just in case I have a different version. It says, Isaiah to the people of Judah, these are God's words. Come, everyone who thirsts, come to the waters, and he who has no money, come, buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend your money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which does not satisfy? Listen diligent to me. Eat what is good and delight yourselves in rich food. Incline your ear and come to me. Hear, that your soul may live. And I will make with you an everlasting sure love for David. Behold, I made him a witness to the peoples, a leader and commander for the peoples. Behold, you shall call a nation that you do not know, and a nation that did not know you shall run to you because of the Lord your God and of the Holy One of Israel. For he has glorified you. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, the unrighteous man his thoughts. Let him return to the Lord that he may have compassion on him and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. Let's pray. Lord God, we thank you for this word to us. Thank you for speaking this word to Isaiah. Thank you for speaking this word to the people of Israel. Thank you for giving us, God, the written record of your word and speaking to us today. In so many ways, God, our culture today is like that of the people of Judah. They know of you, and they see evidences of you, and yet, Lord God, just like those Israelites, we're just unattentive and uninterested. And I pray, God, that even today you would speak into our hearts and lives. Lord God, may this be a blessing to us today. And as you speak to us, God, through us, may this blessing be evidenced in our homes, our families, God, in our neighborhoods, and in our community. I thank and praise you, Lord God, for this congregation. I thank and praise you for the opportunity they have to continue to share the gospel in Seattle. I pray your blessing on the block party that's going to take place here this evening. Even now, God, what a great invitation for the people in and around this neighborhood on Finney Ridge. Lord God, just bless us in your word today. May your Holy Spirit give us ears to hear, and eyes to see, and hearts that just receive again, God, your great message of grace and love. We pray this all in Jesus' name. I didn't really receive an invitation to come here today. I kind of did. I mean, it was one of those things, you know, when Dave Christensen, some of you know what Dave Christensen, when he was what was back then known as the district president of the Pacific Northwest, he organized pulpit exchanges on occasion. And I never got to come to Rock of Ages. They sent me here and exchanged pulpits with somebody there. And this was developed. Actually, was initiated by a young pastor in the one in Redmond Sammamish, and Alan said, "Why don't we try that again?" He says, "How fun would it be to see other churches and have other churches see pastors?" It's kind of funny. My daughter texts me, because our church service is the same time as Rock's here at 10:30, even in the summer. She texts me before the service, like, "Dad, you can't believe it. There's people here looking for you." And I'm like, "Oh, you know, I can't be there every day." And actually, I was supposed to be at Word of Life in Marysville. Jay Price, not to destroy anybody, Jay Price was going to be here today, but something came up and he said, "Hey, do you mind switching? I need to stay at home. And do you mind?" And I'm like, "What? Daniel, I'll come speak at the room." So I didn't get an invitation. It was all prearranged. But I'm happy to be here. Really happy to be here. I'm happy that Jordan was at Hope 2 weeks ago. My congregation was blessed having him there, and there again, I'm glad I get to keep my job, because he kind of, you guys are blessed. You get him every Sunday. He's got a wedding coming up too, man. Alex, Amanda, Jordan, Rebecca, man, you guys got weddings going on. Speaking of weddings, invitations. Have you noticed how wedding invitations have changed over the years? Now, some of you guys are really young. There used to be a day. There used to be a day. And some of you remember these days. There used to be a day where it was just simply enough to put an announcement in the church bulletin. Am I kidding? Some of you, do you remember that? There used to be a day where you could just simply put an announcement me in your Christmas letter or something, so-and-so's getting married. If you're around, come on over. We're going to have, And the wedding took place in the church, and then you'd go downstairs into the fellowship hall and have, cookies and coffee and maybe some of the fancy little mints and mixed nuts and a really extravagant wedding. You might get a bun with some ham spread on there. I think it was ham spread. I never knew exactly what it was, but you ate it anyway. There was a nice silver service. Would you like a cube of sugar in your coffee? There were like coffee bars. There weren't espresso machines. There weren't wedding venues. Man, it's gotten so complicated. I got this nice magnet that's got your face plastered all over it. Come to our wedding. How do you know I'm coming? Oh, I gotta go online. I gotta document that I'm coming to the wedding, and gotta do that RSVP thing, and then I'm like, it's got so complicated, but there's still an enormous amount of celebration. The invitation God gives is so simple. Come. Everyone who thirsts, come. Wow. Even like we're having a family reunion now tomorrow. You gotta document who's coming. Do we have enough food? Is the place big enough? It's going to be air conditioned because it's going to be blistering hot tomorrow. Everything gets so complicated in our life. And the invitation that God extends to the people of Judah, the invitation that God extends to each of us, is simply come. Come. Jesus echoes this in Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, I will give you rest. There isn't prerequisites, there isn't pre-registrations, there isn't RSVPs, it's just simply come. 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 This invitation is free. Just come and receive. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm amazed as I read this. He who has no money, come buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without price. I was in the grocery business for 19 years before I became a pastor. We never, ever opened our doors and come in and take what you want. It's not good for the bottom line. You don't keep your doors open. And you gotta have a profit margin, even if it's a small, tiny one. Who offers anything for free? Well, you always wonder what kind of strings are attached. God asks, why do you spend your money for that which is not bread and your labor for that which does not satisfy? Isn't that just like us? Yeah, we gotta work for it. Yeah. That must be too good to be true. Yeah, that must be too good. And we just put it off God. Not interested. It just sounds too good to be true. Certainly there must be something just around the corner. You guys have been invited to those things. Hey, we're having some people over. Okay, what's this about? Oh, it's nothing. We're just having some friends over. Come on, we'll have some food, we'll have some laughs. No. There must be something. No, really, we're just gonna have some fun. I don't think so. See, this invitation is free. It's free to us. It's free to us. We need to consider the amazing investment that God has made in what God has provided, in God's compassion, in His grace, in His faithfulness, in His steadfast love, and His mercy. All of these are themes within this text. God's compassion, His grace, His faithfulness, His steadfast love, His mercy, all of this poured out for us in Jesus. God Himself becoming flesh, humbly becoming man, living obediently to God's holy will that we sang about this morning, dying on the cross. And yet, it's still free. Free to you, free to me. What an invitation. Simple and free. The only catch, if there is a catch, is the opportunity. Seek the Lord while He may be found. Call upon Him while He is near. As I read this, ask myself, does God hide? Does God hide? As I mentioned, I have 3 grandkids, Lucy, Leo, and Hank. Joanne knows them. You've seen them over at the Ramsden compound. I'll give you the visual. 1, 2, 3. Papa, close your eyes. 1, 2. Papa, you're not looking. 1, 2. Here I come, ready or not. It's her favorite game. Hide and seek. Hey, he's 1. He can't even talk yet, but when he hears somebody counting, his eyes get big and he runs to hide. Because he knows what's happening. It's a game. Does God hide? Not really. It's not that God hides. It's that we're reluctant to receive. As I said before, I think there's going to be strings attached. We mistakenly think that we're going to be good enough on our own. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. It's like, you need a glass of water? Yeah, that'd be nice. You know, I'm sorry if I'm drinking in front of you because it is a warm day. Some of you have been to Mexico with me, and I've been to Mexico with you. And when you're in Mesquital, and that is an amazing, by the way, that is an amazing thing to provide school supplies for those kids. But anyway, when you're in Mesquital, you have a water bottle with you at all times because it is hot and dusty and dry, and you need fluid. But we think we're good. It isn't that God hides, but sometimes we think, I'll catch you later. I'm busy. These things. How many of you now, somebody calls, I'll call already. I'm not going to take that call right now. I'm going to go to voicemail. Text messaging. Yeah, I can respond to that, in an hour or 2 or 3 or 4, maybe tomorrow. We're like that with God. And this opportunity, this invitation, it's there for us. Just thinking about, how many of you, you're getting, like I said, I grew up in the Midwest. Lived here in Seattle and Everett now for 23 years. And one of the things you just don't see so often anymore, at least out here, as I used to see back in the Midwest, are kids doing lemonade stands. You know what I'm talking about? They've got this nice table set up out on the curb, and they might have an umbrella, and then they got that picture, not a picture, it's a picture of lemonade, maybe it's got sliced lemons in there, a lot of ice, there's water beating on the outside of the pitcher, and it's a hot day, and I'm going to stop. I got to go to the store first, and so you drive to the store to get what you need, and you're driving back. Where did they go? Where did they go? Well, it's because Mom called them in for supper or something, and they're not there anymore. And it's like that's happened at like Safeco Field. How many of you are the lemonade guys walking around with ice cold lemonade? He's got it on his head because it's dripping down on his head because it's hot, and he's up and down those stairs, and it's a big time in the game. There's runners on base, and I'll get him next time he comes because I don't want to interrupt what's going on, and I want to see pay attention to the game. And no, the dude loses your section. He never comes back. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near, because today is the day of salvation, the Scripture teaches. Call upon him while he may be found. It's not that he's hiding. It's just that when he's calling to us, when he's inviting to us, and that invitation is resonating with our soul, that Satan, the thief, he who seeks to kill, steal, kill, and destroy, he's always putting up these roadblocks. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Let him return to the Lord that he may have compassion on him. And to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. Think about the first time that invitation was real to me. That's back in the days of Billy Graham, George Beverly Shea. Remember that song, Just As I Am? Just As I Am without one. Wow. Billy Graham was so good. We'll wait for you. We'll wait for you. Come on down. Come on down from farthest. He timed it himself. Maybe he had one of his, his employees, ministry helpers time it from that far corner. Maybe today it's your first time. That's an amazing thing. Today's the day. God is saying, come to me. Receive what I am freely offering. Maybe it's the 100th time, the 1,000th time. And that's the amazing thing about God's invitation. We need it once. We need it twice. We need it 1,000 times. It's like taking communion. Do I quit taking communion because I've had it once? Absolutely not. Because every time I leave communion, it doesn't take but 2 seconds out the door. I need communion again. And so it is with this invitation from God. He is unending in his offer. Jesus says in Revelation 21, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty, I give from the spring of water of life without payment. See, you can't outlast God. Because Jesus is the beginning, he's the end. And he's going to continue to extend this offer to each of us. And how amazing that offer is for these people that come to your block party tonight. It's for those people that we're going to encounter tomorrow and Tuesday. And I'll meet it again by next Sunday. By his grace, I get to preach again. What an amazing invitation. Celebrate it. Receive it, live in it, share it. Let's pray. Lord God, you are an awesome God. And we thank you for this incredible gift. It's free to us, and yet, God, your investment is beyond what we can even fully imagine or understand. Thank you, Lord God, that that your Holy Spirit is at work, calling even again today, helping us, God, to know that you have in Jesus Christ made us well. God bless us, we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
You guys can stand and join us as we close this up.